News as we come on air tonight, a loaded gun and a hit list of names found in a car at a Madison County prison. The person behind that threat, a prison employee. Well, school is starting this week for thousands of students, and many parents might be worried about how safe their kids are at school. Today, Governor Mike DeWine making some major changes that he believes will help prevent the next school shooting. Reliving a 6-year-old nightmare is becoming unbearable for one family. Mary Paul faced a judge today in hopes of getting her license back. This after serving time for hitting and killing a well-known cyclist, Bob Lennon. But as Jackie Orozco explains, it's leaving loved ones in limbo. It's the first day of classes at Columbus City Schools, and students will notice some pretty big changes. The district investing millions of dollars in improvements to make the buildings a bit nicer, safer, and in some cases, cooler.
Primary.
And while all of that happens, President Trump is getting a bit more competition. Ben Garbrick is live in the newsroom to break it all down. Ben. It was at 1:05 a.m. last Sunday when the gunman opened fire outside of Ned Pepper's bar in the Oregon district. 9 lives were cut short that night and 37 others were hurt. Tonight, dozens came out to Holy Trinity Catholic Church for a vigil to honor the lives that were lost. Breaking news tonight, just into the newsroom, a bicyclist is in critical condition after being hit by a van on the southeast side of the city. Columbus police say this all happened just after 9 tonight. The Save Our Sisters 5K and Family Fun Fest kicked off in Genoa Township. The goal is to raise funds for cervical cancer education. Tonight, 1 man is dead in that shooting. Another is behind bars. All of this happening last night at the Hamilton Creek Apartments. Jeff Reddick is following that story for us tonight. And Jeff, this has been a tough weekend for folks who live in that area. The search for an escaped inmate in Tennessee is finally over. Curtis Watson was taken into custody this morning. He was wanted for the murder of a prison worker. Tonight, investigators are detailing how they were able to finally catch him. New details tonight surrounding the apparent suicide of Jeffrey Epstein. It all comes as conspiracy theories continue to be talked about online. Rachel Scott has the very latest. Senator Chuck Schumer says that he's introducing legislation to require the FBI to regulate the sale of body armor. The New York senator says that the legislation would mandate that the FBI set standards on who can buy bullet-resistant vests. Now, Schumer will introduce the bill after the Senate returns to Washington in September. That legislation is aimed to curb the sale of body armor, which has been used in mass shootings. The FBI has not commented on that legislation. And last weekend, a couple got married, and following that ceremony, they took their celebration to the Oregon district, and just hours into their night, that gunman opened fire. Tonight, they're speaking out about that experience. In sports tonight, former Buckeye Bo Ho completing a 9-year journey tonight, clinching his first PGA Tour card by winning the Portland Open on the Corn Ferry Tour. The former state champ from Upper Arlington put it all together this week. Out on camera, Columbus police looking for 3 people they say stole $1,100 worth of sunglasses. Take a look at this surveillance picture from inside a sunglass hut at Tuttle Mall. A former OSU diving coach is set to learn his fate tomorrow. William Bahoney faces up to 10 years in prison after admitting to sex crimes with a 16-year-old girl. Prosecutors say he used his position of power to prey on that young victim. 22 people died and 24 others were hurt when Patrick Crusius opened fire in a Walmart. That shooting is still being investigated as a possible hate crime. Of course, safety is at top of everyone's mind tonight. Jeff Reddick went to Genoa Park, where Latino Fest is getting underway. He joins us now with what's being done to keep people safe. On tonight at 6, heroes jumping into action. Literally, from Batman to Captain America, some of your favorites saving the day for local kids as they get geared up for the school year ahead. That's right, guys. You know, this is a pretty serious problem. 1 man in the Cincinnati area actually died from one of these fires, so that shows you how serious all of this is. In this case, the driver made it out with seconds to spare. Tonight, she's demanding answers from the company and believes more of these vehicles need to be pulled off the roads.
And you can see the firefighters putting it out. I mean, there's nothing left.
The video and pictures Michelle Parks laying out for us tell the story, making it out just seconds before her SUV lit up.
We were sitting there watching it burn. You could hear the airbags pop.
Her 2015 Kia Soul gutted. You see what's left. Just months ago, Kia recalling nearly 400,000 of the hatchbacks over concerns regarding the catalytic converter. But Parks tells us her particular engine model not listed.
We never got anything from Kia, never got anything from the used car dealership or anything. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'm good.
Over the past year, we've investigated numerous fire dangers with Kia vehicles. One case deadly here in Ohio. A man near Cincinnati burned to death getting into a 2014 Kia Soul.
I could have lost my husband, my kids, anything.
Barb Meyer's 2012 Kia Sorento caught fire with her elderly mother behind the wheel.
Nobody's being held responsible.
We contacted Kia about concerns over their vehicles. They sent us a statement that reads in part, if it is determined that a fire is the result of a manufacturing-related issue, Kia Motors America will work with customers to address any costs or expenses. Also saying they encourage customers to remedy any open recall as quickly as possible.
We were sitting there watching it.
Parks believes not enough is being done to address a problem that could cost more lives.
You're killing people by putting these products out on the road.
And now this tonight, recent word coming down that the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has launched an investigation into more than 3,000 reports of fires that started without any crashes. Now, in some cases, the engine was actually turned off. And get this, up to 3 million vehicles on the roads right now could possibly be impacted. And of course, guys, we plan to stay on top of this investigation and try to determine if any more vehicles could potentially be taken off the road. That's right. And investigators will be looking for hate speech and other possible threats. Now, the idea behind this social media monitoring is to hopefully stop those large-scale acts of violence like this past weekend shooting in Dayton before they happen. From Twitter to Facebook, Instagram and Snapchat, an alarming trend, social media sites being used to spread hate, in some cases serving as the first red flag to potential danger.
Run, Mija, run.
The suspect in the El Paso shooting writing a lengthy anti-immigrant manifesto, posting it online just minutes before the shooting.
And it just breaks my heart.
Investigators say Connor Betts, the shooter in Dayton, actually liked several posts about the El Paso shooter shortly before Sunday's massacre.
What's going on?
In California, the FBI finding violent ideology and targets on the Gilroy Garlic Festival killer's accounts. Just this week, the president directing the Department of Justice to work with social media companies to develop tools to spot those signs.
We must shine light on the dark recesses of the internet.
Here in Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine announcing the hub at the Department of Public Safety, expanding their ability to monitor and track potential threats on social media. That information will be shared with schools and local law enforcement.
It would make sense that state government would begin utilizing some of those tools.
Cybersecurity expert Lowell Bowdle says monitoring like this would focus on keywords or phrases.
It essentially is looking for hashtags, strings of keywords, mentions.
A number of social media platforms taking action as well. Instagram rolling out a feature urging users to think twice before posting hateful comments. It uses artificial intelligence to screen content and notify users if their post may be harmful or offensive. Twitter prohibits hate speech. Those caught could lose their account. In recent months, following growing scrutiny, Facebook also taking an aggressive approach to scrub its platform of hate speech. Each step being taken to closely monitor content, in the process potentially saving countless lives. And state investigators also tell us a key line of defense will be tips they receive from the public. They say any online threat should be deemed as credible, and they urge anyone who spots something suspicious to report it. Now, that information could be key in saving someone's life. The State Department of Public Safety sent me a full rundown of how they plan to work moving forward. To take a closer look at that, simply head on over to our website and click this story. And guys, obviously, this is yet another step to potentially save lives and to catch this stuff before it happens.
Turn to the left just so you see what it feels like.
At Take Flight, Ohio,
So it's going to take it to takeoff power automatically for us.
instructors give you a taste of what it's like to be in the cockpit.
I like showing the safety aspects of this airplane.
But even this can't copy the real-life dangers commercial pilots face every day. An example of that, this morning's scare at John Glenn International. Airport officials confirming an American flight forced to land just minutes after takeoff. The plane damaged after hitting a flock of geese. Thankfully, no reports of anyone on board hurt. Headlines pointing out it's a dangerous problem at airports across the country. Research from the FAA says last year alone, there were more than 14,000 reports of wildlife collisions. That's more than 40 a day. According to the FAA, last year at John Glenn, there were 95 reports of wildlife strikes. We're told the airport does have a wildlife mitigation program in place to address the issue.
And just pull back just a hair, not much.
At Take Flight, this morning's incident serving as another teaching tool for those hoping to take to the friendly skies. Reporting in Columbus, Rodney Dunigan, ABC 6 News. The Ohio State University causing a bit of a stir today with its trademark application. From fans to experts, even the head football coach, all weighing in today. It may be one of the most common words in the English language, but it's also a calling card for the Ohio State University. You'll see it on signs all across campus. Fans, students, and alumni insist on keeping it official as well. Now the university looking to make it financially binding, seeking a trademark with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office on the word "the" for use on clothing and hats. Local trademark attorney Jason Foster believes the university has a case.
They have used and emphasized the Ohio State University for a long time, and this is a natural step for them, I think.
All the talk getting the attention of new head football coach Ryan Day as well.
And I think it just goes to show you the range of what the Ohio State Buckeye Nation really has. And it's amazing to me that. And then also the loyalty and what it means in this area and the tradition.
The university releasing a statement saying in part, like other institutions, Ohio State works to vigorously protect the university's brand. The typical application process could take up to a year before we get a final decision, so it could be a while before we get the final outcome. Reporting from the Ohio State University, Rodney Dunigan, ABC 6 News.